Was it much ado about nothing, or was there something to it?
No, look, the one thing, they used to say that baseball will police itself, and that's kind of the way it goes with managers. And if they sense that there's something that is bothering them and they don't have anybody that might be bothered by it, then maybe they do something about it. But look, the reality of it is pitchers who have a tendency sometimes to make it obvious are going to draw attention. And I don't think it's a big deal whatsoever. I've never understood the difference between caking on pine tar on your batting gloves, or for that matter, holding a bat with no batting gloves and being able to hold on the bat. That's the goal of it, and holding the baseball is the same way. So, we're in a different era. I mean, we've seen it the last 2 years at least with at least somebody where TV cameras and HD TV and all the different things that expose whatever it is they're going to expose, and then you've got the ability to freeze a TV, take a picture of it, and send it on the internet, and it's a little bit crazy. But I thought everybody, especially when it came to John Farrell, he was like, wasn't a big deal. When it was brought to my attention, there was nothing on his hand by then.
And obviously it's hard to get crazy if you're a fan, because if the victims in this, the Red Sox, didn't care, then I guess nobody should care. But why would Pineda put that on his hand in the first place? What benefits could there possibly be to having pine tar on his hand?
Well, if it was pine tar, and of course he said it was dirt, so take him for face value, but if it was pine tar, the ability to hold the baseball is all that you really want to do as a pitcher. And you don't want the ball to come out and lose the grip and actually sail. I know a hitter doesn't want to have a pitcher be able to not feel the baseball so that it doesn't sail and he's not throwing the ball where he shouldn't. So it doesn't make the baseball move. It's not a substance that creates this nasty movement like a spitter or Vaseline or a substance like that, where you get this tumbling kind of, unhittable tight and late movement. This is simply, for some pitchers, the ability to grip the baseball and then perform their pitch. So I get both sides of the argument, I really do, but in the end of the day, it's more to do with the ability to throw a baseball where you want to and hang on to it, not create this, sinking motion or anything like that.
Now, a two-part question. The first part, David Ortiz said, I don't care, everybody does it. Is everybody too all-inclusive, or does everybody do it?
It's probably too all-inclusive. The fact that, again, with mannerisms and with pitchers and certain habits, it might draw attention to something that isn't there or is there. You keep going to your hat, your belt, your whatever, your forearm, pitchers are creatures of habit. The rosin is there for a purpose to try and create some tackiness. Rosin for a lot of people, let's say you sweat a lot, rosin's going to be really huge for you. That's going to allow you to be tacky and be able, if you're dry and you don't sweat a lot, rosin does nothing. That's why some guys will wet their hair and go to their, get some perspiration or some wetness in their hair and go to the rosin. And that's kind of the same thing. What pine tar will do is create some tackiness so that when you throw the baseball. But no, I think it's unfair to say everybody does it. There's certain conditions where it's not going to help or do anything anyway. But, the game, again, usually polices itself. I know there was a big to-do last year, and probably why you wouldn't see much coming out of the Red Sox camp, because the guy, ironically, on the mound had to face, not what came from the dugout. It didn't come from the team. It came from the announcers in Toronto. So when Buchholz was on the mound, so I think it'll die down, just like last year it died down when there was somebody who took a TV picture of John Luster's glove, and supposedly it had some gook in it, and that all died down as well.
We're talking with John Smoltz here of the Major League Baseball Network and also a Fox baseball analyst. And now here's a silly question, John. I've picked up a bat with pine tar on it, dropped it, and then later on I'll pick up a pen. I can hardly remove the pen from my hand. How does a pitcher have pine tar on his hand and the ball just comes out easily? I don't get it.
Well, that depends on how much you grab. Yeah, if you have too much on your hand, then it's going to be difficult to release the ball. That's where rosin comes into play, or dirt. That is where probably what he was talking about by the dirt substance creates less tackiness, and it's something that allows you to throw the baseball without it, as you said, sticking to you, because there are times, look, in the National League, I grabbed a lot of bats sometimes where I would go, before I put my batting gloves on in the on-deck circle, I'd grab a bat, and it would have pine tar on it, and that's exactly what would happen, and I would have to take some of that off, because then you put on your batting gloves, and you've got a combination where, certainly you're not going to let go of the bat. But the American League is probably one of the leagues where you can't, unless you're an interleague. But what happens if you're a pitcher and you go to the plate and you don't wear any batting gloves? What are they going to say?
Right.
And you got pine tar in your bat. So, again, I don't think it's as big an issue as people are making it, but we'll find out in time.
All right, so let's remove the pine tar or the dirt out of the equation, and I need John Smoltz to tell me, what did you think of Pineda as a pitcher yesterday?
Well, I've watched him twice now, and if he mechanically and his shoulder is stable and he has that release point, it's going to be awfully tough. This guy is a big human being with large hands and a fastball that cuts. It's a power fastball. I don't think he always does it on purpose. I think it's a natural cut, and his slider's his go-to pitch. He's got a great slot for his slider. It has tremendous angle and break off of his fastball, and I think the hitters are having a hard time